going on, people? It's time for another Afrobuzz fashion fix, courtesy of me, Larry Lamote. Today I'm in London's renowned Portobello Road, where I'll be catching up with the brains behind the vintage shop One of a Kind, which not only boasts a whole host of unique treasures, but also has the celebrity clientele to back it up. Jeff Ohinacho, welcome to Afrobuzz.
Thank you.
So when did your fashion journey begin?
When did it begin? In my mother's belly. I think I was born with it, put it that way. Yeah. You know? It's one of those things you either have or you don't, I think. You know?
So why did you choose vintage fashion?
Because with fashion, or as with everything, I suppose you do need to go back to vintage. It's like a cycle. And I feel if you like an individual look and you like to be unique, you couldn't go wrong with vintage. So even though I like to mix vintage with the modern stuff, well, good stuff that they have today, I think vintage just sort of speaks volumes when it comes to fashion. When you want to stand out, when you want to have your own look and not look like anybody else, you cannot compare vintage.
How far back do you find an item of clothing has to go for it to become vintage?
I would say the 80s, 70s would call retro, and anything from the 60s back would be vintage.
Okay, cool. So in that case, what is your favourite fashion era then?
I love the 30s for the glamour. I also love the 50s when women made an effort to look good. Not like today where it's just about jeans and t-shirts. And I mean, if you think about it, those days they were really elegant. Yes. Not just women, and men as well. They made effort to come out looking presentable and really special and fashionable. It's just lost it today, but you still have those who, that's where vintage comes in, for people who want to capture that elegance from before.
So where do you source, when it comes down to it, where do you source your items from, and how often do you get pieces in?
How often? Because of the sort of stuff I do, I'm very particular about the things I collect. I tend to go for the high-end sort of pieces. I like to go to private sources where I can sort of get a bit of a history with my pieces. You know, they get to tell me, you know, where they wore the garments to, just a bit of history with the piece. And also, I like to go to auctions. I go to a lot of sort of celebrity charity events where they give away, or they sort of auction, you know, pieces for charity. I do a lot. I'm a traveler, so everywhere I go, I'm sourcing pieces. A good holiday for me is hitting a place and then finding where I can drag pieces back to my shop. I know what I like when I see it. That's the main. It could come from a market. It could come from a charity shop. It could also come from an auction or some really stylish old lady from London, you know, or wherever I travel to. I tend to go for high-end luxury pieces.
Why did you choose the name One of a Kind? Aside from everything in here being vintage, how does the name One of a Kind fit your ethos?
My wife chose the name for me because I suppose she thinks I'm one of a kind and it sort of fits what I do.
Now, we know a lot of celebrities frequent the shop, but which ones just can't get enough of One of a Kind?
Good question. Quite a few of them, actually. Tanda Newton, she said she wants to be buried in this shop when she dies, so that's a good one. a lot of my customers think they've died and gone to heaven when they come in here, and it makes me feel good, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not one to name drop, but those who count have all been here, and I'm sure they're all happy,
Yeah.
and would love to keep coming back, and they still do.
With your African heritage, do you find it gives you a different perspective on fashion and vintage?
It definitely does, because you know, I'm African, and like I said, I was born with my magic, and Africa's just vibrant. Like I said, it's got so much color, so much to tap into.
Yeah.
You know, culture, art. I could go on, and even today, you can look at like art by Picasso and see how much has been influenced by Africa, and you can see what is going on in the fashion scene as well. We tend to have a lot of designers who look towards Africa for inspiration when it comes to prints and colors. We're very good at that, so it definitely helps in that sense. Africa is a major force when it comes to inspiration.
Now, there must be some gems that you hide away for certain people when they come in and you go, come and look at this. I feel this would be best for you. Is there such a room in this place?
Obviously, I can't have everything out on display for all and sundry to come fiddling. So, yes, and you're most welcome to check out my special room if you have time. Welcome to my world.
Oh my God, I think I may have just died and gone to heaven. This is
there you go.
Amazing.
It's a good place to die, trust me.
This is a treasure trove, I must say.
Everything is in here that I've collected over a long period, and like I said, I'm very particular about what I go for.
Indeed.
So in here is a creme de la creme.
Wow.
And we have a lot of celebrity clients who come to visit us on a regular basis, and most of them like a bit of privacy.
Yeah.
Hence this room, so they can do their shopping in peace, and you know, they love it.
Well, thank you very much for showing me this room. I must say,
You're very welcome.
I am more than happy. I think I may just stay here for the rest of my life.